Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished. Girona 0, Real Madrid 3 in what was supposed to be a top of the table clash in La Liga, but actually turned out to be a very routine, a team that is probably going to be closer to the top of the table in Real Madrid, and a team that's probably, mid-table club that's punching about their weight in Girona. So that's kind of what it panned out to be. Sorry, I'm a little bit late though, because I was watching that Liverpool Spurs game, which, oh my God, I probably should be doing that one, but I picked this one, and I will stick to this one. But that's an amazing game as well. I will talk about that, of course, in a future video. But yeah, this game, I thought, again, going back to tactics from Carlo Ancelotti, the first thing that I want to comment is, again, big away game. You're playing against a team that is going to be pressing high, pressing hard. You're playing away from home. What do? You don't play Kroos and Modric together. You play one of them, and again, that's what he did. He picked Kroos today. Right decision. Picked Tchouameni, Valverde, and Bellingham alongside, but he picked Kroos as one of the midfielders, and he was rewarded because I thought Tchouameni today was excellent. He took his goal well, but aside from the goal, the way he controlled that midfield alongside the other players, I thought that was a vindication of the decision. And some of the stuff that Tchouameni did today, I'm sorry, Kroos, Luka Modric can't do that. Toni Kroos can't do that, right? They can't do that anymore. Maybe they could do it in their prime, but they can't do that anymore. So it was important for him, for Tchouameni to have a good game, and he did have a good game. But it's also important for Ancelotti to see that this is why you don't play those two together in these kind of games, because you need that bit of energy, you need that bit of intensity that you don't get from the other two midfielders. So perfect decision there tactically, and he was rewarded with that. That being said, Girona should have had an early lead. They should have scored early on, but they couldn't take the chances, and that's what happens. Right? Sometimes you get a presentable opportunity, even though it's early on in the game. You want to make sure you take it, because you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get against the Real Madrid side. That was what set Atletico Madrid apart in the last game. Atletico Madrid, whatever chances they got, they took them. They got one early in the game. Morata got one, he took it, and it changes the complexion of the game, because suddenly Madrid are behind the 8 ball. Girona had the same opportunity. They had a chance early on, but they couldn't capitalize on it. And as Real Madrid slowly grew into the game, it made it more and more difficult for Girona to find a footing and a foothold back into this contest. The first goal is a great goal, by the way. From it's not a great goal, actually, I should say. The first goal is it's a great pass from Jude Bellingham. That's what it is. A pass from Jude Bellingham is just world class. The way he goes on the outside of the boot, and the reason why it's such a good pass as well, if you have seen it, is the fact that he anticipates where Joselu is going to be. He's not. It's one thing to put a pass where the player is another thing to put the pass perfectly where he anticipates the player is going to be. That is just there's something meta and four-dimensional about that. But that was just incredible. Joselu gets a nice connection on it, but the goalkeeper should save it. I think Gazzaniga should be saving that goal. He shouldn't be allowing it to squirm inside the net like that. It's a poor save from him, but it was a pass that deserved a goal. So I don't think you can complain too much if you're a football fan. You can complain if you're a Girona fan, but you can't complain if you're a football fan, because that was just a beautiful pass from Jude Bellingham. And the second goal, for me, I think that is just bad marking. Daley Blind is probably one of the people who was at fault for that goal, because he just kind of loses his marker completely. But because the corner is a good corner, but you still expect a team like Girona to be able to deal with that better. This poor marking all across, and Tchouameni just has a free header, and he takes it, and he does it, and he makes sure that he gets on target, and he scores a very good goal to make it 2-0. And at that point itself, you thought it was game over, even though 2 goals is not insurmountable. And Girona have come back from deficits this season. It just felt like the whole air was sucked out of their lungs. It was sucked out of the stadium. The atmosphere just completely fell flat after that second goal. Almost as Girona didn't believe in themselves that they could get a goal back. They did have a few chances in the second half, though. They had a couple of very good chances, but just couldn't make those openings into something more concrete, into something more tangible. And at times, of course, Kepa was good. Sometimes the other defenders were good as well, just making sure that they didn't allow Girona to kind of get a foothold in that game. And ultimately, they got that third goal. Again, it was a great finish from Jude Bellingham. Again, it's anticipation, isn't it? Because the shot from Joselu should be saved, and he gets a bit of a flick on it, but then Bellingham has got to anticipate where that flick is going to go, because it's not an intentional pass towards him. It's just a kind of flick lock, putting it back into the area and hoping somebody does something with it. But Bellingham's like, yeah, I'm going to do something with it, and he makes sure that he's there. So great finish from him. His man of the match for me, if he's your man of the match like, on this video. Jude Bellingham just he's taken to life in La Liga just like that. It's like you wouldn't even know that this is his first season in La Liga. He's just so comfortable with the pressure, with the expectation, with his teammates. He just looks like like a class apart in many ways, and he just looks like he was born to play in this league. Since the time that he's been around. It is so weird to see an English player like that, because English players generally struggle outside of their own leagues. And yet here is a player who's, of course, had a lot of success in Germany and is now just like, taking one of the most technical leagues in the world in La Liga by storm. He's just growing from strength to strength to strength to strength. And that is just something that's a joy. It's a joy to watch. And in a position that he hasn't really played much. He's playing as a number 10, where he never really played before. Consistent. He's playing as a number 10. He just looks so comfortable, and that it's almost like you wonder why did they bother playing him as a central midfielder for so long? He should be at number 10. But he's just brilliant. He's a player that you want to watch every week, every time there's a Real Madrid game on. That's the player you want to watch, and it's just a good performance from him. Like I said, I like Tchouameni as well. Camavinga looked good as well on that left back role. Again, that just pose a question though, doesn't it? Do you play Camavinga at left back? Do you play Fran Garcia there? Do you play Mendy there? That is an interesting question, because I think Camavinga, of the three left backs, Camavinga has probably looked the best of the three left backs over the course of the last season. I'm not going to say this season, but the thing is, he's not a natural left back, and I do feel that depending on what your combination is going to be. If Camavinga also plays as left back, then he can't play central midfield, and then he has to be rested, and you lose out on that one rotation option in midfield. So that is a bit of a squad rotation thing. For me, I think Fran Garcia should be playing left back. You have got to rotate, but I feel like Fran Garcia needs to be given opportunities, because you need to back him and say, look, you're going to make mistakes, but we trust you and we want you to be in that position. Because long term, I don't think Camavinga is going to play as a left back. He's got to play as a central midfielder. So the question becomes, what do you do there? Do you keep playing Camavinga at left back, or do you try and just give Fran Garcia at least that confidence to go take 2-3 games and try and become something? Because I think Fran Garcia has been at times overwhelmed by the atmosphere, by the expectation of of Real Madrid. He has been overwhelmed by it at times, but that'll happen, right? With time, hopefully he will learn to cope with the pressure and deal with the expectations. But that he can't do that on the bench. He's got to do that starting. So I would start him at left back in the next game, but I think Ancelotti will pick Camavinga, because I think he just likes Camavinga. He likes Camavinga at left back. I think he likes Camavinga in the team. I think he wants Camavinga in the 11. But the problem is, when you already have got Bellingham and possibly one of Kroos or Modric playing, then there's only 2 midfield spots, and you've got Valverde, Tchouameni, and Camavinga. And I think he just wants, he doesn't want to rotate Camavinga. So I think he'll probably play him at left back in the next game as well against Napoli. But yeah, he had a good performance. Nacho got a red card at the end. I mean, that's silly. That's just silly from Nacho, because again, it's not unnecessary to pick up a red card to make a challenge when you're 3-0 up, to make that kind of challenge, to even try for that kind of challenge. Particularly when Real Madrid have a crisis at centre half. They don't have Eder Militao, they don't have David Alaba. They're struggling for players at centre back, and he goes and he does that. Now, that poses a question for Real Madrid, who's going to play centre back in the next game. Will Alaba be fit enough to play, or will they have to rely on somebody else, like play Carvajal at centre back, or I don't even know who else. Maybe they'll have to pick Tchouameni at centre back. I don't know. Or maybe Camavinga play centre back, because he will apparently play anywhere, right? And so maybe he'll play centre back. But it does create an unnecessary headache for Ancelotti now that he's got to look at rotating again and finding another centre back to play. So that is a bit of a dampener. But otherwise, it was a good performance from Real Madrid. Girona, I mean, I think maybe the expectation got to them, right? I mean, they came into this game not necessarily expecting to win, but people expected them to put up a fight, to maybe to really trouble Real Madrid. And sometimes that weight of expectation is not something you can handle. It's all well and good when you're the underdog, and when you're the team that that everybody thinks, if they get something, it'll be great, but not expecting anything. But when you come into a game with expectation, and how you deal with that is what defines good players from great players, and decent teams from good teams and great teams. So that's what it is. But nonetheless, still Girona having a good season anyway, and these are not the games that are going to define their season. If they're looking to qualify for Europe, if they're looking to survive in La Liga, then I think these games are not the ones that matter. It's the other ones that they have to win. So nonetheless, but like I said, man of the match, Jude Bellingham, feature man of the match, smash a like as well. And do share your thoughts on the game. Maybe there was something that I missed that you picked up. I mean, my attention was divided across 3 games. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I was fully focused on this one. There's just so much happening around in the other games that it's just too much football on the weekend, isn't it, to keep track of everything. But it was a good game. This was a good game. It's just unfortunate because the other two games that I was keeping track of actually had very good storylines to follow as well, and a lot more happened in the other two games than in this one. But still, I mean, it's always a pleasure to watch Jude Bellingham. And so, well done to Real Madrid. They needed 3 points as well. They stay top of La Liga. Barcelona won yesterday, so they needed to win today, and they've done that. They will stay top of La Liga, and that's good for them as well. So, all in all, a good evening. A good evening aside from the Nacho red card. I think a good evening for Real Madrid and a good warm up for that game against Napoli. In midweek. So let's see what happens there. Do subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Always appreciate your support. We've done a lot of videos today, so do go check them out as well and subscribe to get notified as new videos drop. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you again soon. Bye-bye.